You know, 2025, it seems like there's an infestation of like homosexuality, punks in the federal penitentiary system. Is it as bad as people think it is? Like that is overran with that, or is it like do people kind of gas that up? Like it ain't really that like crazy like that.
I ain't gonna say the spots that I've been at though, because I was walking on active yards, so they have prisons for like them. You know what I mean? Like whereas majority of them. But they also been bringing them into these active yards now too, but they making people sign papers. See, that's when all the transgenders and all that starting to pop up now. Before I left, I seen Victorville even, and that's an active yard. Like, yeah. I seen like a couple of them pop up right before I left. You know what I mean? And
how does that work though? It's like, that's damn near like, it's like you put a female on the yard, and it's vice versa. I've seen dudes who claim to be females get sent to all women's. How does that work? Like, because this is not the environment that you're supposed to be able to put something like that there.
Yeah, man. But the laws, man, that they protect it so heavy with the laws.
C-Hen, an ex-prisoner, just exposed how trans inmates are turning out black men behind bars. And he says it's way deeper than people think. Said trans inmates were placed in active yards on purpose, and what happened next left men broken, changed, and in some cases, infected out. And just in case you ain't tapped in, word is folks who've been locked up say trans inmates usually had their own units or separate placement in a lot of facilities. They weren't mixed with straight males, but policies changing, different states, different rules, and the feds got their own playbook. C-Hen, who got a 10-year jail term, said it loud in an interview that before he dipped out of jail, he saw trans are now getting transferred to active yards. On paper, there's placement and safety, but in practice, the yard has its own constitution. Dude said folks are made to sign forms tied to placement or safety decisions.
You know, 2025, it seems like there's an infestation of like homosexuality, punks in the federal penitentiary system. Is it as bad as people think it is? Like that is overran with that, or is it like do people kind of gas that up? Like it ain't really that like crazy like that.
I ain't gonna say the spots that I've been at though, because I was walking on active yards, so they have prisons for like them. You know what I mean? Like whereas majority of them. But they also been bringing them into these active yards now too, but they making people sign papers.
But in jail, signing papers ain't exactly what keeps folks safe. Bodies get traded for safety, and if straight dudes are getting their cheeks clapped, what exactly gonna happen with them trans? They're more like prey waiting to be devoured.
How does that work though? It's like, that's damn near like, it's like you put a female on the yard, and it's vice versa. I've seen, dudes who claim to be females get sent to all women's. How does that work? Like, because this is not the environment that you're supposed to be able to put something like that there.
Yeah, man. But the laws, man, that they protect it so heavy with the laws.
And this ain't even shocking, because if you've been rolling with the hood, you'd already know dudes are getting lined up and having their cheeks clapped in jail. This ain't some brand new headline. This been going on for decades. What's changed is the documentation and the noise. We got interviews, lawsuits, watchdogs, and homies coming home and finally talking. And still, you got dudes out here glorifying a bid like it's a spa. So the young folks, some straight, some trans, eat it up and think it's sweet. Then the gate closes and they meet reality, and that reality is the part of the story people avoid, the ugly side. Word is, some inmates are word, others behind bars, and plenty of former prisoners have spoken up about it. In one interview, Vernon said prison isn't the glamorized gangster tale folks sell. Vernon explained that when he got locked up, he befriended an older inmate, cards, hanging out, drinking, small talk. He didn't suspect anything until one day the man grabbed him and forced it. No warning, no way out. Vernon says he's never fully recovered, even after walking out them prison gate.
And I had already been hanging out with him most of the day in, day out, sitting in the cell, talking, rapping. I think we had started drinking a little bit because they had hooch.
The hooch.
So,
Not hooch, yeah.
Yeah, so we got to drink a little bit, had a little hooch. In his cell, because he had a cell by himself, got to use the bathroom. And once I started using the bathroom, we just came up behind me and just grabbed me and put me on the bed. And
so I have to ask, how long did it take you to, one, physically recover,
to mentally recover in regards to just getting back to normal?
Physically, probably, I don't know. I don't even know the time frame, but mentally, I mean, I think mentally deep down, I still have maybe some issues. Because even at one point, once I got to North Carolina, I started going to therapy. I started seeing a therapist, and for 10 years, I was in and out of therapy.
Fredo Bang has also talked about what he witnessed. Men stripped of their dignity by force. Images he wishes he could unsee.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people rather be dead than dead. Cause you get to the wrong jail, you get to the wrong facility, the wrong line. You might experience some things worse than anything you done faced in your life.
And you might have heard Rico Reclez and Ewal Samo describe the brutal reality and the sick behavior that goes on.
What's Savage like?
Well, I don't know where this gay started from, but this was going on. In Chicago, Cook County Jail, they will knock you the out.
Cold. Knock you out
when you
cold.
hit that ground, you will hear this. Get that butt! Get that. Nah, the fighting to be, get the butt. Pull your pants down. Pull your drawers down. Open up your ass and spin your ass.
And
now your ass a bitch.
6 people line up
It'll
to
be
come spin your ass.
Spinning your ass.
Eddie Mathis said flat out that he saw young guys passed around like property, with older inmates using them like it was routine.
Stories prior to going over there how the older guys were ripping some of the younger guys. For instance, certain guys that left there to go to Lorton, we would later hear that, man, such and such and such just got ripped over there,
Was rape a thing during those times?
Oh, man, it was commonplace, man, honestly. I mean, you could walk out your dormitory and see somebody grabbing somebody, 2 or 3 guys throwing a coat over their head, and taking them into a dorm, and you have 20 or 30 guys lined up to rape them.
Bottom line, prison isn't what a lot of young people imagine. Trans inmates have also reported some sort of essays. In an interview, Dwayne Curry said she was coerced into doing some nasty stuff by inmates.
And I literally had to bite down on the pillow or whatever it was, not to make no noise and scream, because I don't want to come out of the cell and be embarrassed, but it wasn't just me. You would hear this throughout the night. So I don't know who sat up there and said some shit talking about, oh no, it don't happen like that no more. No, use a lie. That's not even a story that I don't even like to tell the story, because I think of my mother and my siblings, because the didn't come out until Trap Queens.
Yeah.
That's how embedded and buried it was. But, I'm authentic. That's some I've dealt with. But then they have to learn how to deal with that shit now.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Sad. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Nah, it was awful. You just yeah, that shit is crazy.
And she ain't the only that been talking. Other trans have been loud about being harassed, even by prison guards.
Called he, she, and freak, disgusting. There were some inmates that would come up to my door, the cell door, and grab themselves and tell me all the things they wanted to do to me.
Officers run into the tier. I get out the shower, I grab my belongings and I jump out, because they always tell you when they come in, get on the floor so you won't feel threatened towards them. Is you on the floor?
Yeah, they'll tell you to get on the floor, right, so you're not a threat.
You're not a threat. So I was on the floor at that moment. So it was one officer that, like I said, the officers use certain situations to kind of now prey on you. So it's an officer by the name of Tedesco hopped on me, literally hopped on my butt. He was literally on behind me. I'm like, wait a minute. You shouldn't be on me. He, shut the up. You don't say nothing. Shut the and like he was pushing my head down. Mind you, I'm mentioning it was a puddle of water that leaks out. Mind you, this is dirty water.
Basically, we have no rights. We're animals, we're creeps, we're sissies, and abomination to God.
And this is according to whom?
Administration, directors, wardens, staff.
They were targeting her because of her gender identity. She was by both prisoners and staff. She was touched inappropriately, groped by other prisoners and by staff.
Hard truth, a lot of young folks today aren't even built for prison. No instincts, no size, no weight on their bones. The bravado fades the second the steel door slides. Take the gun away, drop a 145-pound newbie in a cell, and he's surrounded by men who've done burpees, push-ups, and curls for a decade straight. On them active yards, anyone who's new, small, isolated, or without a circle gets read as vulnerable, straight, trans, whatever. Predators hunt opportunity, not labels. That's the part most people on the outside don't want to hear. And it's not just the encounter, it's the aftermath. Word is, protection isn't standard, and CDs aren't common currency behind bars. So outbreaks move through units with quiet speed. Dudes carry shame, fear, and infections. Some don't tell, some don't get treated. The silence keeps the damage moving. And predators, they rarely blitz, but slow cook. They make you feel safe first, slide you a tray, block a problem, post near your cell, walk you to chow. They act like they're shielding you from the wolves. Then, when you relax, they become the wolf. That's the same pattern Vernon described. Jokes, cards, a little comfort, then a sudden flip, no warning, no help, no escape. Sadly, it happens far more than the free world wants to believe. Some don't hide it at all. Johnson Fleece, better known as the Warrior, talked openly about the same tactics after 40 years inside.
We sat on the bed. I said, look, man, I love you. You hear me? I love you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care about this, man. I love you, man. And let me tell you something else. I want you to be, man. Be your what? I said, if you say you don't want to be, man, I'm ready to die tonight. I'm ready to die. You know, I don't care if you kill me, They kiss me again, we kissing. And I'm hard, man. I just know it, boy. I've been waiting 5 months for this, man. So I'm telling you young guys, I love you. I do. When I was locked up, I loved you, man. When you come in, hey bro, who you I don't care who you I'm getting ready to in you.
He bragged that was more important than water. Laugh outside if you want. Inside, that mindset is code for exploitation, and people know exactly what it means when someone starts protecting for a price.
In this prison, it was more important than food. A man's. It was more important. I'm sorry. It was more having some. Was more important than drinking water, man. I like it.
But it gets even darker when you realize it ain't just about essays, but what it does to folks afterward. Abuse, humiliation, and nightmares stack up until the mind caves in. Reports out of U.S. prisons say staffing is thin, protection is inconsistent, and when someone speaks up, they're brushed off or told it was consensual. Paperwork moves slow, but pain fast. Human Rights Watch and others have heard the same kind of stories for years. Folks leaving with deep depression, self-hatred, and zero trust. PTSD, so heavy sleep turns into a trap, and when that trauma walks back into society, it doesn't always fade. Some numb it, some isolate, some carry the violence forward. That's how cycles start: quiet, denied, and deadly. And trust the online community been loud. One user wrote, "Men in prison are savages. Men or are anyone is just savage." Another said, "Reform how prison is operated. Your time is your punishment. You shouldn't be assaulted just because you go to prison. The whole system is F up." While this other dude hit hard saying, "This has gotten out of control. This should be stopped by prison officials." But the real question is, if this has been exposed for years, why ain't it fixed? Is the system looking away on purpose, or is that just the prison playbook? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're all in for raw truths and bold takes, hit that like, subscribe, and click on that next video popping on your screen now.